Y'all, a lot of boo-boo the foolery was going on in this movie. Hi, my name is Charles, and today I'm going to be talking about the new movie Candyman, directed by Nia DaCosta, starring Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, Teyonah Parris, Tony Todd, Coleman Domingo, Nathan Stewart Jarrett, Brian King, and Vanessa Williams. This movie is a kind of sequel, I would say, to the 1992 movie that came out with the same name, Candyman, and I gotta say up front, I've never seen that movie, the one with Virginia Madsen, the one that this movie talks about, because when they're talking about the Legend of Candyman, they're talking about her character in that movie, and I never watched the movie, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna have to get caught up by the story that Nathan Stewart Jarrett's character was telling. First off, I gotta say this movie had me scared in the first 5 or so minutes. There's a scene at the very start of the movie where this kid is going to do his laundry in the basement of this building, and there's a hole in the wall of the building near the laundry room, and that scene had me floored. My spirit almost left my body. Oh, it was so scary, and I was like, wow, this is just really well done, not only visually, but by the actors. Ugh. I really felt this huge feeling of dread and fear while watching this movie. It's been a while since I've seen a movie, especially in theaters, because they ain't really showing that many good movies in theaters recently because of the whole pandemic, that has made me be scared. I feel like the last movie that made me feel that way was probably, you know what, that's a lie, because The Night House. The Night House came out last week, and that made me feel scared. So scratch that. This movie is one of two movies recently that has made me feel actually scared. Part of the reason why this movie is really good is because of Nia DaCosta's direction. I mean, a lot of the scenes in this movie wouldn't feel scary without her direction, because Nia DaCosta really has a good eye, and for me that was pretty evident in her movie Little Woods, so I knew she was a strong director just from that one movie, but I feel like her direction has really went up a level since that movie. I don't really know why Nia DaCosta's not on Twitter anymore. I mean, I was not following anything that was going on. All I know is that maybe it had something to do with Marvel, maybe it had something to do with people not giving her credit for this movie because of the whole people thinking Jordan Peele was the one who made this movie, even though he does produce and co-write it. He's not the one directing it, so I get there was that whole thing with her and not getting credit for directing this movie. So I don't know if it was because of that why she's not on Twitter, or if it has something to do with the new Captain Marvel movie that she's directing and writing. So I don't know why she's not on Twitter, but it's weird, because if I was her, I'd be trying to promote this movie and my great work that I made through Twitter or social media in general, because she really did a great job directing this movie. I really enjoyed the acting in this movie because all the actors in the movie really delivered great performances, and none of them were a weak link at all. They were all doing what needed to be done to help make this story as best it could be. Really, this movie is a very well put together movie, but the thing is, in the third act, writing wise, story wise, that's when things go kind of off the rails. I would say the last 20 minutes of this movie are where things go off the rails, because I don't know, I just don't think the story really worked in those last 20 minutes, because it just didn't make any sense to me. It really didn't make any sense, certain characters' motivations, one character specifically. I didn't understand their motivations for doing what they were doing. They stated why they're doing it, but in my mind I was like, this still doesn't really make any sense to why you want this to happen. I mean, the last 20 minutes of this movie are for sure scary, and there is some social commentary that happened, but I just don't think the social commentary was done that well. I feel like it was just too obvious for what they were trying to say. And also, once again, that last 20 minutes, I felt like, ooh, this is some scary stuff. But at the same time, I was like, with what you've been telling so far, I don't understand why we're here and why this is happening. Also, I gotta say, in the movie, they say that if you say Candyman's name 5 times in the mirror while looking at it, he'll appear and kill you. But around the start of this movie, when he first appears to kill someone, there are two people and only one of them says his name 5 times in the mirror. So I don't understand why he killed the other person who didn't say his name 5 times. It was very weird and very off-putting, because I said, well, what are the actual rules then? Because this makes no sense. Seriously, the messy story points in this movie are what's dragging it down because Nia DaCosta's direction is great. All the other things in the movie, from the acting to the cinematography to the production design, are fantastic. The VFX are great too. It's just that the story just has some problems, and Jordan Peele, Nia DaCosta, and the third person, I can't remember who co-wrote it with them, but it could have just needed some more fine tuning. This movie's only 90 minutes long, and I honestly would have made this movie maybe for an hour and 40, maybe an hour and 50 minutes long. That way you would have more room to explore things and like tell the story better. But they only made it 90 minutes, so I feel like they put themselves in a box by doing that because they had less time to tell their story, and they really were trying to tell a lot of story in this movie, but like really fast. And it did not work because some things were just inconsistent for me. And I know I'm not the only one who feels this way because when you look at the Rotten Tomato score of this movie, it's at like 85% at the time of filming this. And I remember when the reviews first came in, it was like hovering around like the high 90s, and it has just slowly started to drop, and everyone's like thoughts are there are some story points that are weird that don't make sense, or like the movie is overstuffed and it could have used more runtime. So clearly everyone's seeing the same problems that I'm seeing, that yes, this is good, but there are a lot of things that could have been worked out to make it better. And yeah, but yeah, this movie overall, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. I enjoyed myself while watching it, and I had a very good time at the theaters. Everyone around me like clearly had a good time. But I'm just saying there were just some things with the movie that could have been workshopped, especially since it was delayed because of the pandemic. I felt like we could have fixed things up and done some reshoots maybe, but I guess not. But yeah, those were just some of my thoughts on the movie. Tell me down below in the comments what you guys thought about this movie, and tell me if I should watch the original Candyman or not, because I'm just like, should I see it? Is it good or is it not? I mean, the Rotten Tomato score on that one is like a 76%, but it's certified fresh too. And a lot of people say that that's the better movie, so I don't know. Should I check it out or not? If you have a Letterboxd and want to see my review of this movie on Letterboxd, then I'll leave it in the description below. And hey, I'm always posting on Letterboxd because I watch a movie every day. So if you have a Letterboxd, then follow me because, as I said, I'm always posting something because I'm always watching a movie. Anyways, you guys, I'm gonna go now. So thank you for watching this whole movie review. And yeah, I'll see you guys around in the next video if you're there for that. So until then, I'm gonna go now. So yeah, bye.